D&D, Honor Among
Yes,
Thieves. It's out right now as you're listening to this.
it
I'm going to go
is.
see it on Saturday.
I will make sure to try my best to not leave it
Leave it to the
till
last second.
Wednesday evening to remember that I need to go see it. Nah, I'm a lot more excited to see D&D than I was to see Shazam, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
So, shouldn't be too hard for me to remember.
Well, I think the thing that really sold this film for me, other than the fact that I've been watching the Prime shows, Vox Machina,
Oh, yeah.
and stuff like that, and that's really got me interested. And like, obviously, there's just infinite storytelling potential. It's all good, blah 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 blah. We're sat there waiting for Shazam: Fury of the Gods, and the trailer for this film comes on. And before Jenna realizes what it is, she turns to me and goes, "Oh, that looks good. We should go see that." She had no idea what it was. She was like, that looks fun. I want to go watch that."
Yep.
And I was like, I just turned to her. I was like, "We are going to watch that."
It's from the trailers, like, obviously, a lot of people obviously have high hopes for it. The D&D community is obviously excited, but obviously, with any sort of situation where it's like a game or another medium being turned into a film, those fans of the original medium are always cautiously optimistic.
Yes, and I think that's the right thing to do.
Yeah, and I think what we've seen from the trailers is they've really captured the essence of D&D and have those funny moments that are very much a nod to D&D moment, but still keeping it like film fantasy. I think that's come from, like, obviously more and more interviews have been going on the run up, promo, usual stuff, and the actors have talked about the fact that before they even started filming, uh, they were all sat down and they played a D&D game as their characters. Now, I've seen this from many people in comments on these things of, we need that. Like, can we have? Please tell me that was filmed, and please tell
I
me they
imagine it's
had.
probably just a one shot with their characters.
I
I imagine it wasn't
I
that deep.
please
It's probably just to
still,
help them get to grips.
even if it's just, please tell me it was filmed and it's like a special feature, or like, do you know what would be
Make
great
DVDs relevant again.
if it was filmed and there's like a post credit scene or something, and it's just like narrated and then they're all sat around a table as if like the whole film has just been them playing their characters.
Yeah,
That would
like
be
that was
the
kind of
biggest
like how the
meta
Lego
play.
movie was done, wasn't it?
Yes. That would
Yeah.
be the biggest meta play, and I would honestly actually love it. But I'm super excited. There's loads of, like, I saw one clip of an interview where they were talking about the actors were saying like uh something they loved was how many practical costumes have been done. So they actually had like the dragonborn characters, that race, which are essentially half dragon, humanoid dragon people, like they were all practical things so that the actors could kind of actually understand what the fuck a dragonborn is and what they look like.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited the fact that they've confirmed there's loads of practical costumes. It's not all just super CGI on everything. So I think that'll really add to it. And it looks a lot of fun. Just looks a lot of fun.
It does. It does. And as long as it gets that kind of how the fuck did that happen feel to it, that should be there in a good D&D story just because of how D&D works. There should be a moment where what you're expecting to happen doesn't, even if it's like not relevant. Someone
Yeah.
goes to try and throw a sword and fucking hits the wrong thing or whatever.
Well, yeah, they need to make sure that it isn't too scripted of a feel. And it's like those moments of, it's okay if someone like in D&D was to crit and they just fucking one shot a creature. Like if one of them just stood there and just absolutely cleaves a creature in half and it's just like, huh, well, that was easier. It's like, yeah, cool, that's fine. Go with the flow of that.
Yeah.
Like, I do hope they stick to not, I don't want it to feel like it's too scripted of a story. I
It
want
doesn't need
shit
to
to
be
go
just a
wrong and shit to
generic
go,
action film.
yes, exactly.
It can be one of these films where like the plot has these stupid moments that if it wasn't for the fact it's a D&D property, you'd kind of go, what? That makes no sense. Because it makes it make more sense.
Yeah. That's another thing as well. Like, I hope people that see the trailer and yeah, he's got the D&D name on it, but like hopefully it's just a good fantasy film that is enjoyable and actually, if anything, gets people to go, oh, that's a really cool film. Huh, maybe I should go look up what like D&D is and like what more into it.
Exactly.
So yeah, I'm
Um,
looking forward to it.
yeah, and
So
like
yeah.
I've already seen some people saying, I hope it's a huge success, and I hope it becomes kind of like what Knives Out has become, where it's just every couple of years we get a new one with a superstar cast, and it's just
Mm,
chaos for 2 hours, and then rinse and repeat.
yeah. I'd love if it's a super like a huge success and then it's like in the second one, they do another one or something, another star-studded cast, but then they start having like critical role members or like people from the D&D community as like
Yeah.
cameos. I think that'd be really funny.
A Matt Mercer cameo as like
Yeah,
the first villain who they deal with really quickly would be really good.
yeah, it really would. But yeah,
But I'm excited to see it. And worst case scenario, if it's just like 2 fun hours, I can live with that.
yeah, it doesn't need to be some like
Yeah.
crazy big thing.
It's not going to be one of these ones where I go into it with a very clear expectation like I do with Marvel or DC
Yeah,
projects.
yeah,
And don't get
exactly.
me wrong, it's probably unfair on Marvel and DC the way I treat them, but it's different. It's
They
it's
set the
the way I
precedent.
feel
So
about them projects and stuff.
yeah,
Um,
exactly.